Hi, it's Dr. Emily Isham here for Rare Cancers Australia again. So in doing this series, trying to discuss facts and dispel myths, I've actually been faced with material that has been gleaned from news sites and YouTube, and so much of it is unreliable, either partially unreliable or completely inaccurate and very misleading, and it's really confusing. So let's talk about how and where to get your information from. How to know whether it's based on facts, whether it's based on someone's interpretation of the facts, based on their personal opinion, their perspective, or their agenda. So what does credibility mean? Well, credibility is defined as the quality or power of inspiring belief. So credible sources, therefore, must be reliable sources. They must provide information that's objective and is true for everyone. There is a difference between personal opinion, general internet sources, and scholarly, peer-reviewed journal articles. Journal articles or academic research papers generally use credible sources of information because they are reviewed by their peers, often peers around the world, and that relies on them providing the best, most accurate, recent, and reliable information possible, so the audience can trust their expertise. Using poor evidence or unreliable sources actually detracts from a researcher's claim and means it's actually less plausible or believable for the audience. This then holds researchers accountable to a very high standard. Their claims need to be credible and based on credible information from credible sources so that you know you can trust them. To figure out credibility, there are some simple questions you can ask yourself when you're watching or reading something. So firstly, who is the author? Do they have appropriate expertise in keeping with what they're advising? Do they have an appropriate agenda? What's the reliability of that website that's hosting them? The accuracy, is the article well written? Does it show reputable sources and has it been peer reviewed? Bias. Is the article based on the author's opinions or objective arguments? Or is there an agenda like financial gains or a legitimate purpose for the author to write this article? Does it have implicit bias? Does the publication or website have a political affiliation which skews the perspective? The benefit. Who benefits from the information, or is it just for general knowledge? Currency. Is this information current and up to date? And coverage. Is the information useful and accurate? Does it fulfill its purpose? Finally, discernment. Be skeptical. Often, if something seems to be conveyed in absolutes or concluded as perfect, or if it's making your point for you, then just do be careful. Try to read widely. Read opposing arguments and other viewpoints, and don't just follow one or two people's opinions and sources. If the source is playing into your own biases or your own fears, then do a lot more checking out. Sometimes not all opinions are legitimate and based on fact. They're not all equal. An expert's opinion in their area of expertise holds much more weight than the opinion of someone who has no idea about that material. Some commentators or media sources have cherry-picked by suppressing evidence, so hiding it, ignoring inconvenient data, and only selectively highlighting the data or the conclusions that support their points of view. Some even use emotive language to sensationalize or paint the picture they want for their audience, as you'll notice in many newspaper articles. Try not to share things if you have not fact-checked them, because that's like passing on an unverified rumor, and once a rumor starts circulating, it's as good as set in stone, and it will be a much harder job to make it disappear, even if it's only one person's perspective and not based on any truth whatsoever. So if you're curious about various sources or want more information, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us at Rare Cancers Australia. We have a number of people who know how to read reliable papers and can discern whether the sources are credible or not. I hope that's helpful. I'll see you next time.